Good morning and welcome to all of you who are distinguished guests who are joining us this morning. It's my privilege and honor today to sit beside these remarkable women in the Zoom fashion that we are living in to moderate this opening panel on women empowerment and gender equality 25 years after the Beijing Declaration. Just recently, my organization, Generation W, whose mission is educating, inspiring, and connecting women and girls while building community, hosted our annual thought leadership event with the theme focused on vision 2020. It seemed to make a lot of sense a year ago when planning began. We were excited to explore how we see the world, the differing lenses, perspectives, and who is focusing on what and why. And then who could have predicted just how widely our lenses would be, our eyes would be opened, especially by something that we could not see. A small antigen that would literally turn the world upside down, COVID-19. We gathered today in a way previously unimagined, and yet eagerly anticipated. I loved seeing all of those hellos at the beginning when I logged on earlier, as we need to be together. The interconnectivity of our global community and the need for connection has never been more apparent. As the pandemic continues to disproportionately impact women and girls, it has laid bare the inequities that continue in place around the globe. Despite our efforts to the contrary, our challenges have not lessened. Our distinguished panelists will share their unique perspectives as we focus this morning on gender equality and women empowerment, hoping to move further along the vision of the platform in action created in Beijing. I find that our sense of urgency and pursuit of actionable change is heightened by the recent loss of one of our greatest champions, leaders, and warriors, the American Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who with her tremendous vision, intellect, and powerful words and writings paved the way for policy which initiated tangible and actionable changes in creating a more equitable world. And while progress has been made, we are all well aware that women continue to disproportionately, again, represent the encumbered, the beleaguered, the impoverished, and the embattled. In my work and passionate pursuits, I've been struck by how the world speaks to us. It tells us, women us, in a myriad of ways, who is worth more and who is worth less. As an athlete who competed at all levels and ultimately as a professional athlete, every day there were signs, there were signals, and there was silence. And it showed how the world valued me, or actually didn't. And it was the same for ultimately the strong, accomplished women I was privileged to represent as the president of the WNBA. It speaks to all of us, our daughters and our sons, every day, whether we choose to see it or not, in the resources afforded, economic support, business partnerships, marketing relationships, overall visibility, media support, fields to play on. It's a long list. And when you strip it down, truthfully, what are we really talking about? It's about power and who has it and who does not. And ultimately, how do we work together to show that power shared is power amplified? We know research has proven that diverse voices in any room where decisions are made produces better results. We know that women make great leaders, they are innovators, and most recently we've seen that, as it has been women leaders who have charted the most effective responses to COVID for their countries. To use a sports analogy, when you're putting together a team to compete, talent is a difference maker. And having access to your entire talent pool, not just 48 or 49%, right? Men and women only makes you stronger. It makes us stronger, our families, our communities, our cities, our nations. And to that end, one of the more impactful tools we have today is not new at all. It's been proven to work for boys for generations, and equal access for sports for girls is a game changer for everyone. The physical and emotional benefits of better health, increased strength and confidence, specifically a reduction in the incidence of cancers, is life-changing. Girls learn how to compete. Boys and men learn how to watch and engage with girls who compete. Girls learn how to lead others and themselves, and as they go, so do their families and our communities. This is not about making elite athletes, although that will and can happen. It's about building community, an inclusive community. As sport speaks loudly to men. It's something they can see, a place where they can relate. It's a common space to build respect and understanding and learn together. Granted, it is more challenging in some villages and cities than others, but it is happening as men increasingly come to champion their daughters and their opportunities. The power of sports drives our global institutions. It lifts nations, forges peace, and is the greatest of international languages. We can all speak about the power of the ball. You pick one. And most importantly, And most importantly, how when we share that power, we share that ball, teams win. And that is statistically verifiable. It is about the extra pass. It's not holding on to it for yourself. It's imperative that our future teams have gender parity and that young girls who continue to face the realities of child marriage, genital mutilation, trafficking, domestic violence, and lack of educational opportunities are given the chance to compete and succeed, just as it has been for young boys for generations. I had the privilege recently to participate as a judge in Beyond Sports initiative that drives collaboration to increase the ability for organizations to drive social change through sport and impact the SDGs. And in this case, a particular focus on gender equality. It was exciting and inspiring to see how soccer, football globally, becomes a platform for teamwork and physical strength, but also a knowledge base for sharing better maternal health practices and education around child marriage in Uganda and India. In Zambia, football is a way of teaching through the Girls Money Savvy Project how the girls can become financially literate and they learn how to earn money to support their schooling, much as the boys do. In Nepal, and I'm sure our panelist, Mona Ansari, has heard of the Empowering Women of Nepal group that works with disadvantaged young women and girls, offering a comprehensive training program to become trekking guides. Women who show up with no self-esteem or a pathway to hope, emerge with leadership skills and opportunities to become economically independent with an ability to pursue education. As reported, they become multipliers. They become multipliers of positive social change, changing social norms in their communities and beyond. Isn't that the kind of virus that we want? A positive viral experience. In America, we have many organizations, including the Women's Sports Foundation, whose mission is to unlock the possibilities in every girl and woman through the power of sport. And it's been founded by the inimitable, the extraordinary Billie Jean King. The strong correlation between athletic and business success speaks to the support of sport as a difference-making strategy in changing the trajectory of girls and women's lives. With EY research reporting a 94% of executive women having a background in sport, 80% of Fortune 500 women executives having played competitive sports, and over 60% of those women believing that playing sports contributed positively to their career success. And they are joined in that belief by male executives as well. As for me, I am one of those women. Sports allows me to sit today with all of you esteemed leaders. I am part of a community, a global community of athletes who have lived firsthand the opportunity to realize self, and then team, and then world. It's the power of mind and body that enables the power of change. Yet we're still very much on the front lines of fighting for gender equality and equity here in America, both on our playing fields and in our boardrooms. When I look at the game clock on this team sport called life, I am dismayed that we are too far into overtime with respect to the wins we are looking for. Girls, women, their families are losing their opportunities, which are our collective opportunities. We must all learn that this is a we situation. And one of the core beliefs at Generation W is that when you elevate a woman, you elevate us all. And that intergenerational mentorship is the way that we can all learn, live, and ultimately lead together. I have learned from my cherished experiences with Vital Voices, a global NGO born out of the conference in Beijing, that when you invest in women, you improve the world. They break forward an undeniable truth that women are essential to progress, to their communities, and that our world cannot move forward without their full participation. Perhaps that's why we are moving so slowly. And I want to thank their great leader, Nelson. I will close my remarks the way I began, with a return to the late and esteemed Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who shared with us her thought on a meaningful life. She said, a meaningful life is living not for oneself, but for one's community. I'm proud to be here today to stand with all of you on behalf of our community, our global community, where devotion to equity and equality are goals worth fighting for every day. And you're going to hear from these women who do just that. Let's remember that what we don't see can be just as informative as what we do. Let's reach for the new ideas, break out of the box, seek innovation, deploy technology for its best and highest usage. Recognize that we must discard strategies that are not providing results, and demand with our actions that an acceleration of progress is the only step that we can take. The stakes are high, not only for our daughters, but for our sons, for our families, our communities. Life is a team sport, and gender equality is a game changer. Let's change the game, for when we do, we all win.